Our next speaker tonight is Grace Menzak. She is a 23-year-old actor, singer, musician, and writer with tinnitus. She has recently graduated from Adelaide College of the Arts with a passion for musical theatre as well as acting on screen and stage. Grace has had tinnitus for as long as she can remember and is an advocate for more awareness around the condition. Thanks so much, Grace.
Thank you for having me. So, like you previously said, I have had tinnitus for as long as I can remember. So I am quite fortunate that I haven't had to struggle with trying to navigate a new thing. I always thought that ringing in people's ears was normal, and which means that I do have a bit of an obsession with silence because I have never experienced silence before. So I will quite often ask people to explain what silence is, which is quite difficult, if you can all imagine. How I cope with it on a daily basis, especially being a musician, I'm surrounded by noise all the time, and on bad days, it fills your head, and so I use music as a focus point because it's it's a lot better than just the high pitch ringing in your ears. And also because it's a way that I express myself, especially because I will always have a song in my head, or I will constantly be speaking in my head or singing in my head, just so the only other noise around me isn't this high-pitched squeal. Acting on stage, it is a lot easier. You talk to anybody with any sort of chronic illnesses, or I don't know if any of the other speakers feel this way, but when you're on stage and performing, everything disappears. And it's really good for me performing. I love performing because I'm just focused on somebody else and I don't notice it because something's always going on in my head, or there's always background music, or I'm listening to somebody else, so I don't notice it as much. But something that is quite hard in terms of stage, when you've got backstage, is that I like to read people's lips when I talk to them. So I will always look at somebody when I'm talking to them so that I can see their mouth moving, because sometimes when the tinnitus is quite bad, I can't hear what they're saying exactly. So I like to look at somebody. So when I'm backstage and it's quiet and there are speakers buzzing and there are all these other distractions, I do really have to concentrate so that I don't miss a cue or anything like that. Also, in terms of acting, I also do voice recording as well, and that is where it's the most difficult because you're in a soundproof booth, which is great for somebody who does not have tinnitus and is constantly followed by this ringing noise. So put the noise cancelling headphones on, and that's when it's the worst. So I always have to have one headphone off because I don't like wearing headphones. I'm wearing them now, but ignore that. Because it's like hearing aids. A lot of people with tinnitus can't wear hearing aids because it amplifies the sound, or I don't know, I'm not an expert and there's not a lot known about tinnitus. So with vocal recording booths, that's my most difficult thing that I detest, but I still do it. I don't even know what else. What else I can talk about my life. I can talk about my life forever, but I won't bore you with the details. But I am quite fortunate that I have tinnitus and I can still hear perfectly well, besides just I've got a buddy in my head that is quite annoying. Thank you.
Much for that, Grace. That was excellent. And I've definitely got some questions about some of those coping strategies that you have for later on in the chat as well, because I only recently acquired tinnitus in the last few years, and it's a steep learning curve, most definitely.
Yes.